Hello, we are Ponce, Valentin, and Hildermann Axel. We are student of Electromechanical Engineering at the National Tecnológica University in Paraná Regional School. We are going to present our research on lack of energy in insulated community, micro and small generator for creek and rivers. I am going to start with the introduction. Around the world, there are a lot of people who live in insulated and rural places. These people cannot have access to electricity. This topic is being addressed by the National, more precisely in the SDG number 7, affordable and clean energy, where it focuses on extra access to electricity for all, without altering the ecosystem. There are a lot of ways to generate electricity from natural research. In this research, we will focus in generate electricity from creeks or rivers, more precisely by micro and small hydropower generators, which don't have little carbon footprint. Now, my partner Axel is going to explain how we are going to develop the presentation.
Thank you, Valentin. Well, now I am going to show the map of the presentation. Well, first, we are going to present the problem and describe the context of this situation, of this problematic situation. To then talk about the causes and the consequences of the lack of energy in remote areas. Secondly, we are going to present the solution. And then we talk about the micro hydropower generators and characteristics of these devices. Finally, the benefits of the use of micro hydropower devices will be presented. So now it is so important to explain the impact of the paper. Well, for us, it is so important to show the energy problems in isolated places and the quality of life of people who do not have access to the electric service. So, also, this paper aims to explain sustainable solutions to the lack of energy and provides the knowledge necessary to contribute to the environment. So now my partner, Valentin Ponce, is going to describe the problem.
Thank you, Axel. As I said in the introduction, a lot of people live without electricity service. You can see in the picture a percentage of regions population without electricity. More precisely, around the world, there are 759 million of people without this service. In this research, we will focus on the rural context, which suffer the lack of power due to isolation and distance from urbanization. Now, but why does all this happen? This is mainly due to economic reasons, such as the high voltage distribution line have high price, the logistic costs are high, or the lack of importation of material for current distribution line construction. Another reason is the economic situation of the country does not allow it, or or the government have low interest for help these communities. Bien. All these generate some consequences. For example, a great difficulty in developing a decent life, or generate of pollution to the environment due to use the use of alternative energy, causing, for example, deforestation, or polluting smoke due to high use of fuel. Now, my partner Axel will show how this problem can be solved.
Thank you. So now let's present the problem approach. Well, in order to address the lack of energy in isolated places, we propose the implementation of micro hydropower generators. So, but what is a hydropower generator? Well, it is the way to generate energy from the flow of water. And why the prefix micro? Well, there is a classification that depends on the amount of energy generated by each device. So, in the table, sorry, the laser. Sorry. Well, we can see 6 types of the we can see 6 types of hydropower generators. For example, the devices that can generate more than 100 megawatts are called large hydropower generators and usually fitting into a large electricity grid. Well, in this case, to solve the lack of energy in isolated communities, we propose the use of micro hydropower generators. So these devices can generate between 5 kilowatts and 100 kilowatts. There is enough to provide power for a small community or rural industry in remote areas. So, due to the small size, the amount of energy that can generate, and the sustainability, these devices are an advantageous way to harness the energy in isolated communities. So now, I am going to explain the principle of operation of these devices. And it's so important to understand that all types of hydropower generators have the same principle of operation and the same main components. So a hydropower generator are composed by 3 main components that are the turbine that have blades, excuse me, transmission mechanism such as a gearbox, and a generator that is composed of a magnet and a coil of wires. So the transmission mechanism has the task of create the correct speed relation between the turbine and the generator. Well, now imagine a river with flowing water. Some of this water is diverted to create a controlled flow. This controlled flow hits to the blades to the turbine, and the turbine spins. Well, this rotational movement is transmitted to the generator by the gearbox in this case. So, the generator, the magnet spin due to the spinning turbine, and electric current is created in the coil of wire? Well, there is electricity. So, in summary, the flow of water passes through the blades. At the same time, the rotation movement is transmitted to the gearbox to obtain the necessary speed transmission between the turbine and the generator. Finally, the generator creates electric power. So now my partner, Valentin Ponce, is going to show three very interesting types of micro hydropower generators.
Thank you, Axel. Previously, Axel described it in detail how electric power generator work. I must clarify, all generators work with the same principle of operation. The only change is the shape or arrangement of the turbine. Now, I am going to present three types of generators. The first is the vortex turbine. It works with the vortex funnel. It can generate between 50 and 75 kilowatts, and it can operate in any waterway that has low drop ranging between 1.5 and 5 meters. The second is the Archimedean screw hydro turbine. It is characterized by having a screw in the turbine. It has a capacity to generate between 5 and 500 kilowatts, and it has a useful life of it has a useful life of 13 years. Finally, I present a cross-flow turbine generators. It can generate 100 kilowatts. It operates on the impulse for created during the stirring of the water flow on the turbine blades, and can be built with the recycled component and without technical difficulties. Now, my partner Axel present the advantages and disadvantages of these devices.
Well, thank you, Valentin. As said, my partner, I am going to show some advantages and disadvantages of the micro hydropower generators. So these devices have many advantages, but the main advantages are, for example, low head and flow required. Or in other words, these devices can be installed in small rivers or in flow of water with small drops. Other advantages is that these devices do not need a reservoir of water. For example, a large hydropower generator needs a reservoir of water to operate. For example, a dam. Other advantages are related with the environment. Well, the micro hydropower generators do not create eco footprint, and the impact of these devices in the environment is very small. Well, other advantages are that the higher efficiency of these devices that runs the 70%, the continuous and reliable operation, and the comparatively low cost with the solar panels, for example. Well, these advantages are very interesting, and Sorry. This is the advantage of these devices. So we can see that these devices have many advantages, but also they have disadvantages. For example, to install this device, we need a very specific terrain and a flow of water with constant flowing water. And also, we need a minimal expertise. Other disadvantages are related with the expansion options, because if we want to expand the energy production, we need more money and the node flow of water. And the last disadvantage is that the change of the river depends that the season. Well, in order to finish with this presentation, I am going to give a conclusion. Well, as electromechanical engineer students are sure that the implementation of micro hydropower generators is a great way to solve the lack of energy in isolated areas. And we believe that it is very important to spread this technology and all types of sustainable devices to the world. Well, and it is clearly that the devices presented here can solve many energetic problems. And it is very, very important to understand that it is not necessary to have energetic problem to use these devices, because these devices have the capacity to reduce the carbon footprint. So this presentation has finished. Thank you so much.